March 3rd, 2017. Nintendo releases a $299 gaming tablet that plugs into your TV. Wall Street thinks they're crazy. The company just lost $900 million on the Wii U. Their president took a 50% pay cut. Some analysts said Nintendo should quit making consoles altogether. 8 years later, that tablet sold over 153 million units. Third best-selling console in history, behind only PlayStation 2 and Nintendo DS. But here's what makes this story fascinating. The chip inside was already 2 years old at launch, yet Nintendo turned modest hardware into one of gaming's greatest comebacks. How? The Switch exists because the Wii U failed to answer one question: what is this thing? The Wii U had a tablet controller you couldn't take far from your TV. People thought it was just a Wii accessory. Nintendo's president admitted most consumers didn't understand it was a new console. So Nintendo asked a fundamental question: what do players actually want? Data showed handheld gaming thrived in Japan while home consoles dominated America. What if one device could do both? Not a home console with portable features, not a handheld that connects to TV. A true hybrid. Same games, same save files, seamlessly transitioning between TV and your hands. This had never been done. Everyone assumed you needed different hardware for different contexts. Nintendo bet everything that assumption was wrong. Making a hybrid required solving a contradiction. Home consoles need power. Handhelds need efficiency. You can't have both, unless you get creative. Nintendo chose NVIDIA's Tegra X1 processor, originally designed in 2015 for tablets and automotive systems. Not gaming. It uses TSMC's 20nm process with 4 ARM Cortex-A57 cores and 256 Maxwell GPU cores. Here's the clever part. The Switch runs the same chip at different speeds. Handheld mode, CPU at 1.02 GHz, GPU at 307 MHz. Docked, GPU jumps to 768 MHz. Same silicon, dynamically scaled. The console tablet weighs just 297 grams. Inside that 6.2-inch screen, 4 GB RAM, 32 GB storage, 4,310 mAh battery. Manufacturing cost around $257. Unlike Wii U and 3DS, which sold at a loss, Switch was profitable from day one. Production splits between Foxconn in Taiwan and Hosiden in Japan. When you hold a Switch, you're holding 500 person-years of Nintendo NVIDIA engineering. The controllers might be the most ambitious part. Each Joy-Con weighs 50 grams. Inside that tiny shell, analog stick, face buttons, shoulder buttons, HD rumble motors, accelerometer, gyroscope, infrared camera, right Joy-Con only, and 525 mAh battery. The HD rumble uses linear resonant actuators instead of traditional vibration motors. These create specific textures. Game designers can make you feel the difference between ice cubes clinking versus marbles rolling. The design came from Wii Remote feedback. Players wanted smaller controllers. Nintendo realized smaller controllers enabled something bigger. A console that transforms based on context. Attached for handheld play. Separate for motion control. Shared with a friend for instant multiplayer. One console, 3 play modes. Everything in the $299 box. That 4,310 mAh battery provides 2.5 to 6.5 hours depending on the game. Zelda drains it in about 3 hours. Less demanding games stretch further. This is the Switch's honest trade-off. Compared to PS4 or Xbox One, it's significantly less powerful. But here's what critics missed. Most Switch owners don't care. Docked outputs 1080p to your TV. The 720p handheld screen is sharp at 6.2 inches. Games run smoothly because developers optimize for this hardware. Power isn't the point, flexibility is. Pause Zelda on your TV, undock, continue on the train. No other console offered that in 2017. Nothing quite matches it today. By early 2020, Switch was already successful. Then COVID-19 changed everything. March 20th, 2020. One day after California announced stay-at-home orders, Nintendo released Animal Crossing. The timing was accidental. The impact was historic. Switch sales doubled that month. PS4 and Xbox grew 25%. Nintendo's profits jumped over 400%. Animal Crossing sold 13 million copies in 6 weeks, fastest start for any Switch game. The console became impossible to find. Scalpers charged $500 plus. During fiscal 2021, Nintendo shipped 28.83 million units. More than Wii U's entire lifetime sales in a single year. Why Switch specifically? Family gaming. Joy-Cons meant parents and kids could play without extra controllers. Animal Crossing offered gentle escapism. Ring Fit let people exercise indoors. Switch wasn't just entertainment during lockdown, it was connection. Sales numbers tell one story. The attach rate tells another. Switch owners buy an average of 9.2 games per console. That's extraordinary. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe sold nearly 70 million copies. Animal Crossing exceeded 47 million. Breath of the Wild reached 32 million on Switch alone. These aren't just sales. They're signals of genuine engagement. People don't buy 9 games for a console they regret. They don't spend 100 hours in Animal Crossing because they have nothing better to do. Switch succeeded because it respects how people actually live. You might have 20 minutes on your commute, an hour while your partner watches TV, a weekend afternoon with friends. The hybrid design isn't a gimmick. It's permission to play whenever life allows. The Nintendo Switch took a company on the edge of irrelevance and restored it to industry leadership. It proved innovation doesn't require the most powerful hardware. Sometimes it requires the most thoughtful hardware. 153 million consoles, 1.3 billion games sold, $85 billion in platform revenue, and a template for what gaming can be when you design around players' lives instead of spec sheets. The console analysts said couldn't compete became one of the best-selling gaming devices ever made.